Hello, wonderfully wacky world of the whole wide webs. I can't call it web, it has to be webs with a Z. Anyways, as I said in my last video and the video before that, I'm trying to just slowly get back into this because I know that I need to start doing stuff. And if I don't start doing stuff, I'm going to be stagnated in the life that I have forever. And the life that I have is actually really good. I don't mean to say that to be like, oh, I'm going to be stuck like this forever. Like, I actually really do enjoy my life. It's fantastic. All I need is a little bit more financial stability, you know, as opposed to none. Right? And then everything's perfect. I don't even need to change except maybe, you know, having a yard to myself with, you know, shared dog. But that's unrelated. Just kind of seething right now. So right now I'm thinking of the song One Small Thing, which is from My Little Pony, which is actually a really good show in terms of writing and magic systems, which is pretty cool to share with your kids. So, and it's not one that I watched whenever I was a kid. Like, they saw it for the first time and I'm going like, oh, I've actually heard of this. It's been on like reviews of magic systems that I've seen. It's pretty cool. So the song One Small Thing goes, one small thing might not seem like a lot. One small thing, work with the time you've got. Soon one small thing becomes two. After two, maybe another few, or something like that. And then one small thing could be the biggest thing of all. Like something like that. And I've been thinking a lot more about that because I've been thinking about it since I first heard it, which was like 2 years ago maybe. And that encouraged me to do one small thing. S.E. Hinton, the girl who wrote The Outsiders, I should not talk whenever I walk away, the girl who wrote The Outsiders, she also wrote a book called That Was Then, This Is Now. And I heard, yeah, there's Q&A at the back, I think. I don't remember where I heard this from, but after she wrote The Outsiders, she was 16 when she wrote that, by the way, fucking fantastic. So after she wrote that, she was having a lot of writer's block, and it was partially, and I read this, I don't remember where, I can't like be like sources and stuff, but I read this whenever I was a teenager, and she was really discouraged. I think the tablet died. She was really discouraged from how successful The Outsiders was, and she was scared that she couldn't write another thing that lived up to that, and she had writer's block, and having writer's block for that reason is a very specific kind of writer's block. I don't really understand it, but like, I mean, I do understand it. I can't relate to it, but I really understand it. So after a while, her husband recommended that she write one page, I think it was 2 to 3 pages a day. And in a Word document, that's more or less like a chapter, yeah. I'd say like half a chapter a day. These are her chapters. So in a Word document, 1 to 2 pages of this. I have a small book that just came out that's small like that, and it's about twice, like 1 page would be 2 of these, at least. So, writing 2 to 3 pages a day, she managed to write out a full book, right? Because if you do one small thing a little bit at a time, then you can ultimately, you know, succeed. You can do the thing that you wanted to do. I was working on a Breaking Bad review, and I really like it. Like, I think it was good. The main vlog wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it was more like the step that I took wasn't to put forth the best product. The step that I took was more or less to figure out what I'm doing with video analyses. And I'm actually enjoying it a lot more now that I took that step. If I hadn't taken that step, then I'd still have this idea of what I want to do, but I'd have no framework on how to do it. So one small step doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, you're going to do this, and then at the end, this will be your perfect product. Maybe it's like, well, you're going to do this, you're going to fail, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to realize you meant to do this. And like everything that I say, it's all interconnected, right? And yeah, the more I've been thinking about the one small step thing, I think of, you know, this vlog. I'm doing a little bit at a time. At first I was just recording and not posting. Now I'm feeling confident enough to post. I was just talking to myself, basically, to a camera, and I've still got the files. I might post them like one day if I ever sort through my computer. But it's the act of getting off your ass and getting it done. And whether or not it's how you want it to be, that's the perfectionist that comes in, the perfectionism. I can't even say the word wrong, I need to phrase it properly. But it doesn't have to be exactly the way you want it. whenever I wrote my my books that I have published now, the first one I just wrote through because that's what I'm used to, but I have 2 kids now. I can't do that. I can't just be stuck at a computer for like 2 weeks. And in all fairness, you know, I was getting them food and stuff, but I was mostly just on the computer. And after that, I figured out a system where I write a chapter a day. And then I figured out a system where I write a chapter a day during these times, and that's my productive time, and it's a time that the kids are otherwise occupied. They've got their tablets, they got their TV, whatever. So then I could focus on the kids when I wasn't writing, and I could write my 1 chapter. So this one small step thing is, I mean, it seems so simple, but it's something that a lot of people have a really hard time getting off the ground. Like, another great example is this Japanese, it's not like a philosophy, I don't know what it is, like a tradition. It's an idea from Japan, which is, hell if I remember the name, but it's, if you want to get into a daily habit of something, do it for 2 to 3 minutes. Not 10 minutes, not 5 minutes, maybe 1 minute if you're really not in a good habit. You know, like I said, cleaning the house the other day. If you just spend 2 to 3 minutes every day where you're like, okay, you know what, I don't have to do more than this, but I want to start getting it done, so I'm just going to do 2 minutes. I have so much dog shit to pick up in the backyard because my dogs are on the leash, but the other dog isn't on a leash. I've got some beef with that right now. So I have to go pick it up. And instead of doing it like all in one shot, I'm doing a little bit every time that I've got some time to go do it. And eventually it'll all be picked up. And it's the same with, by the way, I'm in a cold place. The snow just melted, just so we're clear. I'm not like, I totally neglect my dogs. But yeah, in winter it's really hard to pick up, especially if they go outside and they have one spot. So, with all of these things, vlogging, writing, even parenting, like everybody wants, you know, to be perfect and their lives to be perfect and their kids to listen every single time that they tell them. Maybe not everybody, but that's been the life that I know. Like, kind of more or less controlling than authoritative, which isn't good. You have a responsibility to be the authority. You do not have power or control over your kids. There's a huge difference. So one small step in parenting could be something like just explaining to your kid patiently, you know, if your kid has a hard time sharing. Instead of forcing them to share every time, just every single time explain, like, do you like it when other people don't share with you? Do you see how you made that kid feel? You know, and that way they can start to process it and they can start to come to the conclusion themselves, oh, I want to share. That's actually an issue that I had with my daughter, and now she shares things fairly well. And if I focused on it as like one problem, I need to deal with this right now and control her, it would have gotten either worse or she would be sharing out of fear of me, which not a good, either one wouldn't have been good. So after a while I went, okay, this isn't working, like trying to force her to share, so what do I have to do? I have to take one small step and I have to show her, first off, sharing, you know, lead by example, so I have to share my stuff. Secondly, I have to show her why it's important to share, and every single time that there was an opportunity to teach that lesson, I would take that one small step. And after a while, one small step becomes a few more, and then it's the greatest step of all, right? I love that song. It just like, I was listening to it last year and I'm just like, Lux, that song is motivating me. But yeah, that's the point of this video. Just one small step at a time. And you know, you can ramble on because everything's interconnected, and the more that you think about something, the more things it makes you think about, and then you can end up with 30-minute videos. Or you can try and take a step back, pause, and just go, okay, you know what? I'm getting comfortable with who I am, with my life, and I want to start taking these small steps that I know are important. And it might not be like I'll see results tomorrow. I might not see results for years, but damn, at least I'm doing it, right? And yeah, that's the whole point. One small step. And right now my favorite song to listen to is Gold by Sleeping with Sirens, which is not my favorite band, by the way. My favorite band is Bring Me the Horizon. Woohoo! I have to say that every chance that I get because they're the best. But Sleeping with Sirens is definitely awesome. And the song Gold is from a less popular album, which is like the chorus goes like, we made our mistakes, it's not too late, we had to learn the hard way. And I keep just listening to that, and whenever I think gold, I don't think money. I think like The Outsiders, you know, nothing gold can stay, the sunset, the beauty of everything, right? All we want is gold. All we want is beautiful things that are just, that we value, right? That's how I look at gold. And to be clear, even gold in and of itself, like as like the gold standard, I don't even see that as like monetary value. I see it as like, I kind of think that ancient civilizations may have been more technologically advanced than we realize, and gold was a conductor and they knew that, and therefore gold had value for that reason. I have no proof of this. This is just like a wild speculative theory, but I like to believe that that's true. And yeah, like whenever I think of gold, I think that, you know, all we want is gold. It means all we want is just this peace, this golden life, like to be authentically ourselves and to have people around us that are authentically themselves, that we can all connect with and care about, and be connected with animals and nature and even technology. I've got nothing against technology. It's nature. Tablet's dead. I gotta go. She's got something against technology, but it's nature. It's just rocks and minerals, and we put it together and made this. And people go like, oh, it's not natural because it's man-made. Like, okay, we use nature to make it, and we are nature. How is this unnatural? And to be clear, there are some things that are totally unnatural, but technology, I don't think is one of them. So on a whole, I think that one small step is really the basis for any decent life. One small step at a time. I'm gonna go help her church split. Bye!